Alright, so I've got this movement working right now. One thing to kind of consider is at this point right here, I don't have a key. This is sort of saying you need to key the movement out. I need to key the position of this cube at the edge, the translation. If I look over here, you can see that these are dark red and these are light red. It means that there is a key in the timeline on the translation at this frame, but the thing is, it's not at this frame. There's a key on the timeline related to this object for translation, but it's not here. That's what the light one's saying. As I mouse over, watch what's going to happen as I go back to the next one. The key is there, but it means there's nothing here anchoring it down. If I start to rotate this, it's going to affect everything. I need to drop a key across here. So I right click across. I make sure that first adjust the playhead. Go across here, right click, key selected. You see it turns dark. Now I can do that movement. So let's do it. I'm going to do it all as one movement here. So I'm going to go W. There's the drop. Control Z. I keep forgetting my own advice. Move the playhead out. I'm going to say it took this long to go across, it's going to take this long to fall, and it's going to go a much greater distance, so it's going to seem like it's going much faster. So we'll say it goes down to about like here, maybe just a little bit out, so it kind of tumbles forwards. So adjust the playhead, adjust the object, set the key. And I'm going to go E on the keyboard and add the extra. Let's give it a one full rotation, like that. There. So the object's been adjusted. Now drop the key. So right click, key selected, done. The movement on the rotation's off because of the center of pivot. It's actually kind of going in and out a little bit, but it's good enough for the first class. We'll go over fixing that stuff in the future. Okay, so from here, let's say it's done. Like this would be the completed animation. This is the range, and what are we going to do? This is the range slider. We've got 200 frames. Let's have it just play to 65. I don't need at render time. I just need the actual animation. So I just give it a value of 65, which clips it. This is what's going to render. If I leave some of those extra frames on, it can render out the whole thing, which will be a lot of dead, empty space. Okay, so let's do it. Animation is done. We need to generate that little Play Blast movie that we talked about. So at this point, we want to see a little artistic creativity. Let's kind of look at it from a few different angles. Where's it going to end up? Just a little bit out like that, something like this. So try to get that camera angle, which makes it look interesting. This does count in this class. I think this looks okay. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Alright, so I've adjusted the camera for the shot. Think of yourself as like you're doing film, and it's time to make the play blast. So I'm going to right click in the timeline and click on the play blast. What's important to understand is that when I hit the playhead here, I'm not actually seeing an accurate playback. It might be pretty close, but the only way to really see like the actual speed of the playback is by generating a movie. This is going to relate to the processor in my computer. If my processor is too fast, it might play a little fast. If it's too slow, it's going to be laggy, and the timing might actually be off. It'll tell you it's doing the best it can, but the only way to really tell would be with the play blast. As I said, the idea of the play blast is speed and efficiency. We're supposed to be knocking these play blasts out in a few seconds. It should not take that long. If it's taking over a minute, you're doing something wrong when you hit play. So let's hit stop, and I'm gonna actually just select this guy. I'm gonna press Q on the keyboard to get rid of those control handles, and because now I can see the cube a little more clearly. Okay, so at this point I'm going to make the play blast. I go right click, Playblast options. It's going to put it in that folder that you created for the project scene. So that's where it should be saving it. This depends on the codecs you have installed in your computer. I've got AVI, QuickTime. QuickTime should be smaller than the AVI. Quality. This is not about quality. You're not trying to make that beautiful, pretty Pixar render with the Playblast. It's about speed and efficiency. So really looking at the motion, looking at the movement, studying it, and making tweaks. You don't want to invest in the large render right now. So let's do it. Scale. So what it's going to do is it's going to scale the movie it's going to make to 50% of this actual workspace. So it's going to reduce the workspace by 50%. I could also choose render settings. Don't worry about that. Do it from window. We want to render from window, which is this. This is the workspace. It's rendering this window here. I click apply, and we should see there's the Playblast. Alright, normally speaking, the Playblast would now pop up. I should see the little movie actually pop up and become visible. Should be.